When men improve, they think about ways to do better for the family. When women improve and they get to the bag, they call themselves independent. What man ever run around talk about, oh, I'm independent? It sounds stupid. What are you doing? What are you contributing to the community? What are you contributing to your family? Women run around with that independent nonsense.
Most relationships start off harmoniously. It's when shit hits the fan that's when shit
That's
gets
when it
real.
gets
Because
real.
even when you're separate, even when you don't have a marriage between y'all, say you buy a house, say y'all start a business, say y'all got the kids. Let's just use the kids in a house. How many people you see out there having babies between each other? They was in love at first until they broke up, and now they up in court fighting over kids. How many people do you know that bought houses together? And they was cool when they bought the house, everything was going fine. That moment they got a divorce, now they arguing over who pays the rent, who owes me this. I think how many times you see it in divorce on them TV shows in divorce court all the time? Them motherfuckers ain't married. They
Right.
just in there. They just in there arguing over shit that they did in their relationship. He owes me this money for this. She owes me that for that. Well, anytime
So
you dissolve a
Well,
relationship,
let me ask
you're
Smooth a
right,
question real
Sweeney.
quick.
Hold on, I just want to add something to what
Listen,
Sweeney said.
we're dominating the argument, the conversation, and we got other people on the panel. I want to ask Smooth this question. Smooth, earlier in the show, you were talking about you knew somebody who found a better woman. Because my argument was men don't really leave their relationships because they found a better wife, and it's like I want to move on. To this question, that woman had on there talking about outgrowing her partner. She met him at 24, married him at 29. By 33, she was out of there because she leveled up and he didn't. That's really what she said.
Yeah.
Do you know any men, Smooth, Trave, Smooth? Do you know any men who feel that they outgrow their woman? Out like a man saying, I outgrew my wife.
Yeah. It's not always for the same reasons though, because men and women are obviously looking for very different things, right? It's very rare. It happens, I'm sure, but it's very rare that a man gets frustrated because his woman is not making enough money. Most of us as men understand that we're going to be maybe not the sole provider, but we would be the predominant provider, where we're going to probably take maybe the lion's share, 70%, whatever, of the bills. So you might not grow out of them financially, but there's other things. There's just you being sick of them. They might not give you enough big love, and they might not pay attention to you. And you just might mature in a different way. Maybe you decided to become saved. Maybe you went to church, and
Okay, I was about to say, is that
she's not on your page.
Part, I guess.
She's
Keep
not.
going.
Yeah, she's not on the same page. You just might be more of a studious person. You might want to start traveling. You might want to move to a different neighborhood. Maybe you don't. Maybe you grew up in a city, but you don't want that anymore. You want to raise your kids in the suburbs or a rural area or wherever. Maybe you just want to leave another state. And she's not really with moving. Maybe she doesn't want to elevate at all. Maybe she's very comfortable. There's some people who are just comfortable, some people who are complacent, and you just don't want to deal with that because you feel like she might be holding you back or trying to stop you from doing things. And there's always the women who just don't understand a man on his purpose. A lot of us gentlemen, we doing this, we doing our 9 to 5s. Most of our time is occupied. We going hard. And some women can't take that. They want all of your attention. They want all of your time. And that will, if a woman tries to get you off your purpose and derail you, that's one of the worst type of women to have, period, because she's messing up life for both of you and your family or potential family. So you could easily outgrow somebody who is not trying to elevate. That's probably the worst situation.
you want to know, Shannon, you was going to respond to that?
What can I say to that?
Because I was gonna say, you want to know the big difference with what just Trey Smooth just said though? The woman in that video said she outgrew her husband with no input from the husband. He ain't say, "Nah, babe, don't go get that degree." He ain't say, "Nah, babe, I don't want you going out there and making no money." He didn't hold her back. And Smooth's example, the woman was purposely holding the family back from progress. I don't want to move to a safer area. I like the city. I don't want you to get that better job because I want you home, even though the better job will put the family in a better position. He like it's tripped out how he described that, because typically when you do hear men say, "Hey, look, I outgrew my wife is typically in the sense of, man, I'm trying to do something that's for the betterment of the family, for the betterment of her, for the betterment of myself.
Yep.
And she's actively fighting against it. Where her example, it was just her making some personal choices, and it was all about her. Me. I got this
you
job.
know what?
I got
and
this.
that's the big difference. When men improve, they think about ways to do better for the family. When women improve and they get to the bag, they call themselves independent. What man ever run around talk about, oh, I'm independent? It sounds stupid. What are you doing? What are you contributing to the community? What are you contributing to your family? Women run around with that independent nonsense.
Right. And that whole situation lends to the whole thing I was saying about power again, right? Because had he told her like, nah, you're not going to school, you're gonna stay ass at home, you're gonna cook, you know what she would have been? She would have never said she outgrew him. You know why? Because she would have respected that he was dealing with her from a position of power. But he didn't deal with her from a position of power. What he did was he allowed her to gain her own power. And now that she has her own power, she's like, well, I'm more powerful than you. I don't need you for nothing. He should have been like,
yeah, but clout, isn't that?
She gonna divorce him and say he was controlling.
Isn't that a little dangerous, clout? Because that's like the kids knowing that they got 911 today. See, again, I say it week after week, but I just haven't done the show. I'm doing a show called Controlling versus In Control. Because a lot of women conflate the two. A lot of women, oh, he's too controlling. I'm like, no, he ain't controlling. He was in control, and you didn't like it. And I'm not happy, right? The whole that soundbite. I'm not happy. You're not happy because he ain't letting you wear that thotty ass outfit and go with your single girls on that girls trip. He's saying sit your ass down, but we got a family to raise. So my thing is, clout, with that. If he would have done that, she still probably would have left modern today. It's almost like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. If I let my woman
you might think
level
so.
up, if I let her level up and get her degree and I'm supporting her, I'm working and shit like my brother did. I'm working and I'm doing all this stuff for the family, and I'm working my ass off, and I'm doing 70 hours a week. And then the moment she levels up, she's fucking out of there because she feels she outgrew a nigga.
But the level up was a shit test the whole time, though.
If he says, if he reigns with an iron fist and says, oh no, you're not doing that, I already see the writing on the wall, you ain't doing all that shit, this is what we doing, then she's still out of there.
Listen, but what people don't be realizing is the level up is a shit test from the beginning. She was shit testing him from the moment she said, look, I got aspirations of my own that got nothing to do with you. The moment he signed off and approved that, it was downhill from there. What he should have done was recalibrated her situation, said, nah, you don't have no plans that only attain to you. Your plans are this family. And I guarantee you the moment he checked her, she would have dropped to her knees and sucked the skin off his meat.
Not
because
if he married her.
we live in.
Or or he would have quickly learned that she ain't the one for him.
Or he would have learned that she. So if she didn't drop down and respect that immediately, then he now would have known exactly what he was dealing with.
Yeah, minus the investment, minus all that investment, because I bet you he paid for her books, her tuition, all that.
Hold on, but Clout, here's the thing though, that only works if he did not marry her, because you just said he relinquished control the moment he married her. She leveled up after they were married. So if he was to say, "Nah, chick, sit your ass down, you're not going to school," all she gonna do is divorce his ass and say he was controlling.